just heard something then.
Do you not like the being in here? Do you not like people coming into the chancel?
Tonight we've come for another investigation at the haunted church in Santon, Norfolk. We investigated here on our last series and had some amazing things happen. There was loads of EVPs that we recorded on camera, and we could even hear voices coming from within inside the church with our own ears. One of our static night vision cameras was also turned off. We saw various different things within the church, so I really can't wait to get back in there tonight and investigate again. Accompanying us as well tonight is Eddie Mallet, who's investigated this church more times than I think anybody else has. So with him by our sides as well, I think it's going to turn out to be a great night. So we're going to go in now and have a chat with Eddie and see what kind of activity the church has produced on recent investigations. So once again, Eddie, thanks a lot for coming along with us to the church tonight. I understand there's been some quite prominent activity happen on the last few visits.
There's always activity.
Oh, well, of course there is. And we've not been let down.
Haven't been failed yet.
No, exactly. But I think it was it last week you came that there was some quite strong...
Amazing. I mean, say people were feeling different things coming to them. One got, the leg was painful. Another one was having trouble with the throat. In the chancel, there was a girl there, and all of a sudden the legs just felt as though it went to jelly, and she could hardly walk. So we had to escort her out. In the vestry, we got shaken, and that literally swaying from side to side like that, couldn't stop. Another time we came here, there was knocks inside the vestry. You could hear voices from inside there. And all about the place really. Another time, near the back pew here, there was a guy, bald-headed guy, standing there, and so it's just like cold air coming on top of my head like that. His wife shone the torch and got blood trickling down the side of his head. It actually came.
Wow.
Yeah.
So quite, well, not particularly pleasant stuff happening at the same time, I guess.
Yeah.
And again, the thing that I've always liked about this is the EVPs and the voices that you can hear within the church.
EVPs are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away with the ones that we recorded last time. I've never, I think as well, just because of the like sounds, the way the sound echoes around here, it really sort of, you can pick up the sort of voices here. And we were here last, we recorded 2 female voices.
Ooh. That's a possible voice. Thank you.
Yeah, I just heard that by the door.
Yeah, at the back, wasn't it? Because we also smelled some sort of lavender, well, the smell of lavender, which could, I don't know, lavender perfume or something like that. So again, it's more of a female sort of thing that
we begin to think that the lavender side of it is probably Margaret.
Right, okay.
Because we picked her up as a flower woman who used to arrange the flowers. And there's two mediums, and they picked up on her, and they're both saying that she's exactly the same.
So I think we'll get going in a moment, set up a bit of equipment, got some cameras, because a lot of the activity last time was sort of towards the back of the church, so I think we'll set up a camera there definitely, hopefully get some sort of EVPs or voices, and I think we'll just go forward with the investigation from there.
So we've come into Santon Church in Norfolk. Last time when myself, Luke and Eddie were here in the evening without James, I was sat in one of the pews over there, and I felt as if perhaps a monk or someone was stood here watching me and just sort of keeping an eye on what we were doing. And I've come in now, and even standing here I do feel slightly on edge about it, but I'm really sort of excited to see if it happens again, or if I see something again.
I'm not really sure what we're going to encounter tonight, because I've heard quite a few stories from Luke and everyone about it being quite an active place. When we came here in the day, we didn't really get much, and that was the last time I've been here, so as far as seeing if what they captured really is here, it's all going to come about tonight to find out. I really want to see the monk that Sophie was talking about, because that seems like quite a significant event to have happen here, and the EVP as well. I want to try and capture some as well.
I don't know if you remember myself and Sophie and James being here before. I know you know Eddie, he's come plenty of times to visit you. We've come back this evening to try and talk to whoever might be here in this church, or anybody that wants to talk to us maybe. Would you be able to come forwards and talk to us?
Could you knock on the wood like that?
I hear a sort of weird, very slight sort of squeaking and stuff like that. As if that might be bats up there.
If you hear sort of sound, I haven't heard it tonight, but if you hear squeaky sounds, there's a good chance there will be, because there are bats in here.
I keep hearing it.
James could hear noises coming from the room at the back of the church, and seeing as bats are known to inhabit the building, we decided to investigate further to see if they were the cause of the sounds. It was in there, we got an EVP during the day as well.
It was a woman's voice in there, wasn't it?
I can't remember, it's like a whispery. Yeah, it was at night, yeah.
A lot of times you'll get a woman's voice in there.
Yeah, both times we heard the woman, it was right in this area, wasn't it?
I can't actually hear that squeaking in here now. I can't hear that noise I thought I could hear. I thought maybe it was coming from up there.
Mm-hmm. If you're here, can you say something, please? Alright, start this way again like last week. Try and say anything you possibly can, please. Possible voice there. Female. If that was you, could you make that louder?
We didn't find any evidence of bats being in the back room, however we can't rule them out completely as being the source of the noises James heard. As we returned to the nave, we were all greeted to a rather strange feeling. I feel strange walking back in here. I don't know, just a bit weird. It's like you're just walking into a room.
a lot colder in that.
It's like walking into a room full of people.
See, that's what it was like in coming into here
Yeah,
last week. It was very warm inside the actual main body of the church,
yeah.
and yet in here, it was absolutely freezing cold.
Well, that's the weird thing, because I thought it was colder as I walked in there earlier, and now coming back out here, it feels colder out
It's
here.
colder in here now. It seems like
It's the temperature dropping between the two.
it's like moving about, whatever, or whoever's here.
Or you feel like there's something moving about it.
I don't know. It's definitely colder in here than it was in there.
Yeah.
It feels it.
It is.
I just heard something then.
Could you make that noise louder, please? Thank you. That's right by you, I think, Sophie. A little bit louder, please.
If there's any ladies here, would you like to come and sit next to me? I don't mean you any harm, I just want to get to know you.
Are you here, Margaret? Elizabeth, are you here?
Feeling really sick.
You get sick.
Yeah.
We had that last week.
Do you want to stand outside or stay?
I hate to say it, but see, you've got to get rid of it. Because that's what happened last week.
I'm starting to feel it too.
Mm.
I'm starting to feel it a bit too as well.
What, sick?
Yeah.
I can say that happened last week. And
After feeling incredibly sick, Sophie decided to leave the church for a few minutes to try and recover. This isn't unusual, as the spirits in the church have been known on many occasions to target women, either physically or making them feel extremely unwelcome.
Well, that's all through my legs and everything now.
Do you want to go or are you going to stay?
No, it's fine. That's weird. I haven't had that before. I haven't had this before.
Like this feeling?
Yeah, it feels a bit like hangover sort of feeling. But just out of nowhere.
You know what's strange?
Right.
I know I was sitting down there, but since I got up I just walked forwards to probably about this point here.
What's that? Aim your finger? Your eye right? Yeah.
Like I walked to probably about this area here and it's just gone really cold, like almost a sort of, I wouldn't say, it's not an electric charge, but there's some sort of, I don't know, I just feel a bit funny.
Hmm.
Back there I'm fine, there's a line. There is literally a line, which is pretty much here.
If you cross that and you feel it.
And then it starts feeling strange here. But again, it's weird, it seems to be moving towards the front of the church. Because it started out there where you could hear the noises, and it's gradually moving forwards.
It's weird. You make a noise so you know where you are in the church. You move the cross.
Although myself and James were picking up on a very strong energy within the church, we didn't experience any physical activity, and it was at this point that Sophie and Eddie returned inside. So far, the night had almost entirely consisted of us experiencing strange feelings, which is something you can't really appreciate unless you're actually in the environment in person. Having investigated reputedly haunted sites for nearly 10 years now, the feeling you get when in the presence of a spirit is unmistakable, and I can certainly say we weren't alone in the church.
Feels weird in there.
Yeah, with the door closed. You know, I went to Linton. We had that like caressing energy thing.
Yeah.
Had that for a couple of seconds there, and then it went.
What sort of quite a sort of pleasant sort of
That sort of like suddenly slightly warm, like numb, tingling.
Yeah.
Which seems weird because it's not like it would get warm
No.
in one place. And then that went, and it's followed by like slight pain in the stomach. Which I didn't have before. I started since I've been here.
Yeah.
Head and back of your neck all go up, all the way around to like
Yeah.
top of my head, yeah. I can feel it on my legs as well. My hair's all going up.
It feels so much colder down this end.
It is colder down here, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was weird. I suddenly got that like warm, numb feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's colder down this end.
So that's a new add-on, this part here of the
Yeah, do you want to come in here without the cameras and stuff, see if you feel anything?
Yeah.
It's weird, like, without I felt like I'd need to give you all the camera stuff
If you take
after going in there.
I'll put the other ones in there, James.
Okay. Go and sit.
Dizzy.
Yeah.
This is the first thing that springs to mind. The floor's not particularly uneven or anything, but I sort of want to fall back.
Weirdly enough, that's how I felt before I felt sick, but I thought it was just part of the...
Yeah, it's really strange. That's the first real sort of intense sort of thing I felt tonight. It definitely feels like sort of, I don't know, just a little bit unstable.
Feel as though you're rocking.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah, just sort of unbalanced really.
Again, we had that all last week. We got the rocking and had it momentarily in the chancel. Oh, sorry, in the vestry.
Right.
Try moving further back in there, like towards where the cross is almost. Ooh, that's something, a loud click next to us there.
Yeah, I heard that all night. I'm guessing that's to do with the wind hitting the actual window.
Do you not like me being in here? Do you not like people coming into the chancel? So could you give me a big sign that will get me to leave this area? I know that's someone here making me feel like that. That's been affecting all of us tonight. Could you use whatever energy you're using to do that to us? Can you use that to give us something really physical that we'll be able to hear or see?
That's me.
Feels like the top of my head is burning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Burning.
Here. It's blowing on the phone chat. It's burning. Feels like the touch.
Just have a look at that. Just have a quick look. Just check to see if it's the heck there.
It's just under here, it just feels really hot.
Let's see.
I feel it, but
That's a lot hotter, that part there. That there is hotter than so there.
Seems like whatever it is keeps targeting Sophie.
It was a similar kind of thing last time though.
Go mates.
yeah.
After Sophie felt a burning sensation on her head, it was clear that someone or something didn't want her in the church. It was at this point that we decided to spread out in the nave in one final attempt to record evidence of the ghosts of Santon Church.
If there's someone in here, can you make a really loud noise, please? So that we know you're here. Is there someone stood in the chancel right now?
Take it out, somebody need to be there.
I'll turn around.
If there is, can you just walk this way towards me, please?
I don't know if it was a bit of dust or something, it was like...
We just recorded this anomaly on camera, which appears near the chancel as a small wispy ball before moving diagonally up towards where Sophie is sitting. The fact Sophie asked for whoever was in the chancel to come over and join her seconds before this was captured, as well as the fact it is the only visual anomaly we recorded that night, adds even more credibility to the fact that this could be paranormal. To try and rule out some natural causes, I compared the footage to a bat flying on infrared camera, but as you can see it's certainly not a bat. Another possible cause could be dust, but again, after comparing it to the other times we've caught dust orbs on camera, it doesn't seem to resemble them at all. Could this be the partial manifestation of one of the many ghosts of the old church?